Last time we left off, you guys had just killed a number of bandits that apparently had been plotting to ambush you further down the road. You've gathered some information, and you have found out that the other half of their group has already been waiting in ambush, and this other half has been waiting for the group that you just killed.
Alright then. What were we doing right when we left? I think we just did a long rest, correct?
I don't
short
know.
rest, I believe.
Short rest?
Yeah. What are you guys doing now?
So we can take a short rest.
I believe you just did. You already had.
Yeah, we did that at the end of the last session.
Oh.
So what are you guys doing? I believe last time you mentioned about hunting down the other half of the bandits?
Yes, I believe we were headed that way with our prison.
Yeah.
All right. Hang on one second. Okay. You guys begin. Do you rejoin the road, or are you going to walk alongside the road?
We are going to walk off of it.
All right. Whoever is navigating for you guys, make a survival check, and whoever is keeping an eye out, make a perception check.
I'll do perception because I have a plus
God will
9.
do it.
All right. A 23. And Kazi, you rolled 10. Okay, that's not too bad. Kreth, it isn't long. It is maybe a half a day's travel. You guys get to about here or so, since you're walking a little slower than normal, looking out for that ambush that was mentioned. You guys, Kreth, the first thing you smell is, actually, I don't know, you're playing in Elf, right? Or what are you playing? Can't remember. Oh,
Shooter,
no, in ASMR.
Yeah, ASMR.
So the first thing you notice is a glint of metal along one side of the road. There is a point at which there are some, not necessarily ridges, but there is hills far off in the distance. And maybe a couple hundred feet away, you spot something that flashes in the light. Yes.
Didn't we have the other guy as our guide?
What guy?
Our prisoner.
Oh, yeah. He has told you that it's this direction.
He's with us, though. We took him with us.
Yeah.
Making sure he's still with us, that's all.
Yep. He says, yeah, it should be around here somewhere. Up ahead, those hills.
Kreth, do you tell us what you saw?
Kreth?
What was that?
Do you tell us what you saw? The glint of metal?
Yeah.
Kai's just going to kill the guy.
Okay. All right. What are you using? Because you wouldn't exactly use a weapon. Or do you just have...
chromatic orb.
Okay, you're just chromatic orbing him.
Or...
yeah, that he's been defeated at this point, and you have him restrained, so that basically just kills him, and he just gets fried and falls to the ground, very much so dead.
I'm assuming we already looted him, correct?
Yeah.
Right, then Kai's just going to use elementalism and dump his body underground.
All right. The dirt rushes up and swallows him whole, the body at least.
It's out of the way, Kazi says. Let's circle around him and come at them from the side. See if we can slip through the mountains. Or slip through the hill.
Because first level spells are now cantrips, I'm just going to cast Divine Favor.
What does that do?
Put that in the chat.
It gives me a +4 radiant damage.
Oh, that's just you? Okay.
All right. With you casting that spell, you guys approach, getting off of the road and swinging around to what would you assume would be the backside of where these ambushers would be facing. Kreth, as you are creeping along, I'm going to need everybody to make a stealth check, actually.
No. Not stealth checks.
Give me sticky.
And that's that terrible roll.
All right.
I rolled a good you. What's disadvantage?
As you approach their position, you don't hear a cry out or anything like that. But you do, Kreth, you are the first to see. There is clearly one of the Dragonborn bandits is sitting against a tree. It appears to be resting.
I'm going to point him out.
Yep. Through the brush and through a small grove of trees, you guys can see can barely make out the shape of a person resting against the tree.
Kazi is gonna cast magic missile on him.
Okay, roll damage. He would be in range.
It's 3d4, right?
Yes,
Bad
but
roll. 4.
it is +2.
Oh, it's +2.
No, it's plus. Hang on. If you read the damage for the
Pull
spell,
up my spell.
it's +2 for each.
Let me just cast it.
It is 1d4 +1 for each dart.
I'm gonna hit the same guy.
All right. The darts fly across, whirling around a couple of trees and plants, and then slam into their target. The bandit almost like flinches, and then his head goes limp, and the dragonborn just falls to the side.
Right. Can Kazi try to sneak up the hill?
Yeah, but with your
Would that be a new stealth roll? Because he's in a different area, or no? Same bad one.
We're gonna have to stick with your bad one. But you start heading up the hill, and then your foot brushes across something. A dragonborn hand. And that hand is attached to an entire body as another, this time a green dragonborn, very much so dead, is right at your feet.
Kazi freezes, drops to the ground, and then casts message back to the others who are behind him. There's a dead dragonborn that we didn't kill. He won.
Are you still approaching?
Yes, but I don't think Kazi has any spells that'll help him hide.
As you approach the target that you'd hit, you find the target has a pool of blood beneath them. And what appears to be a massive gash in their torso.
That is alarming.
As you look closer, the gash goes all the way through the torso. Somebody impaled this dragonborn all the way through and then removed whatever it did. This is not the work of a magic missile.
Kazi's gonna crawl to the top of the hill and poke his head over.
There are a dozen dead bodies strewn across the ambush site. Not the ambush site, but the hill overlooking the road. Some appeared to have drawn their weapons before they were killed, but others, very much so, were killed before their blades were drawn. You see a couple of crossbow bolts that have slammed into the dirt, but that's about it.
Kazi's gonna roll for investigation to figure out who did it, or if he recognizes the tracks from some sort of adventuring party or military group in this region.
To figure out exactly what happened, that would be investigation. To track whoever did this, that would be a survival check.
He wants to figure out who did it. So that's investigation. 15.
Okay. Hang on one second. You look across these bodies. It appears that they have all been killed with a weapon, but an unusual weapon. In some cases, the blade appears to have pierced through the flesh without actually piercing through any of the clothing. And in some cases, it looks like the people weren't harmed at all, but instead they have had massive brain hemorrhage. There's blood coming from the eyes, the nose, the mouth. This is the signs of some sort of psionic ability, psychic damage. You do spot, on top of all of this, a trail of green liquid at a point. A crossbow bolt with the tip covered in the same green liquid has been tossed to the side, and then the green liquid leads off into another over the hill.
Kazi is going to take his vial and scoop some of the green liquid into it. And he's going to call the rest up to look around. Oh wait, he can't use his vial. That's full of mythical ore dust.
So you're not collecting any of the mysterious goo?
Is there any sort of container or like potion bottle on any of the dead in this area? Do they have any potions on them or flasks?
Not really. They are all armed with either swords, or there are two that have crossbows. And also, there's a bunch of gold I can give you once you've properly looted all the bodies. It's easier to give you it all
I was
once.
looking for any canteens.
Is anybody else catching up, or are you guys all holding back?
If he's starting to loot bodies, I'm going to come forward.
Same.
All right, you
Yeah,
grab
me too.
an additional 30 gold pieces and 48 silver pieces from these bodies. On top of the weapons that are intact are 2 heavy crossbows and 5 short swords.
So we get 6 gold. That includes Dulcie. And 48.
48 silver pieces.
Everyone gets.
Let's write down 6 gold.
Everyone gets 6 gold.
I got that.
You get 9 silver, and I think there's what? 3 left over? Yeah, so add 9 silver to your money. Your silver.
Okay. And then, how much gold was it?
6 gold. And then
Yeah.
6 copper.
6 copper. All right.
6 gold. 9 silver. 6 copper. And someone's grabbing the weapons, I presume.
Probably Ruben.
Yeah, I can grab the weapons. 2 heavy crossbows?
Yes. Are you able to mark that on your character sheet? Let's see. I'll add it to your character sheet.
Okay, thank you.
This might be too much for even you to carry at this point. Yeah, you can't carry all of the short swords. Alright, maybe you can. You can't carry the last one. You are at your weight limit.
You'll take a short sword.
Alright.
I gotta stop carrying around a 20-pound tent and 30 pounds of mithril ore.
Oh yeah, you still have the mithril. Does anyone have an empty canteen or a canteen I can steal?
Oh, you know.
Oh yeah, I have a canteen.
I have water skin. They're not
Water
you have
skins, yeah.
canteens? I just have water skins.
Yeah.
Not just water skins. I just have water skins.
Yeah, I can give you a water skin.
Okay, Kazi's gonna put some of the weird green liquid into a water skin. But he's also gonna do an Arcana check on it to see if it's magical in any way.
Alright, yeah. Go ahead and make one.
So you can add the water skin to your inventory.
You find it is non-magical. In fact, it is some type of blood.
Is it some sort of creature that I would recognize? Would that be a survival check then?
It is not a
Or
creature
a-
that it is not a creature that you recognize.
Medicine check? Nature check?
Yeah, make a medicine check.
Wouldn't that be nature?
Yeah, it could be either.
15.
It is not a creature that you recognize, but it's definitely some sort of monstrosity. There is still a trail of this blood leading from the area. But it does appear that all of the bandits you were trying to hunt down are now dead.
What killed them is the question.
Huh. Kazi's gonna shrug. Not much we can do about it now. We have the loot, we may as well continue on to... Actually, let's follow this. Let's see if we can follow the trail. Doesn't hurt to try.
Make a survival check.
Who's got anything better than a +1 to survive?
I have a +6.
You want to roll for this one?
Yeah, I got it. The website's reloading. I can't load the website anymore for some reason. Okay, now I'm getting back. Took a bit. 10.
It is not very difficult to track this trail, because it only goes over the next hill.
Oh,
You find at the end of it a body, face down in the dirt. A strange, insectoid, four-armed, two-legged creature.
4-armed, 2-legged?
Yep.
Oh my god. Andrew, did you really?
No? To answer you, no.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Does it have an ant-like face?
Hang on, let me check here. I keep losing it for some reason.
Do it.
Gosh darn it. Oh yeah, okay, hang on. I can show you. Actually, I can show you guys what it looks like. Here we go. This is the image right here.
Is that the Pokemon Scyther?
You can make a... What would this be?
History?
This would be a history... This is a hard one. Make a... You could make a... This would be a history check, yeah. You do not recognize this creature, Kazi. Everybody else is just gathered around staring at it.
Does it have any loot, any weapons on it, or is it just empty-handed?
Nope. It does have some clothing, some very much destroyed now destroyed armor.
What material is the armor made out of? Leather?
It appears to be made of some strange creature's leather. Yes.
Okay. Is there anything magical on him? How is he gonna roll?
No.
No, don't even have to roll.
Nope. There doesn't appear to be much on this individual at all.
Did you say weapons or no?
Nope. Not a single weapon.
Did he use his hands to attack him then?
Possibly.
Are his hands bloody?
No. Besides, it is covered with its own blood. It is currently, upon closer inspection, it is currently alive, just very badly wounded.
Oh, it's alive.
Yes.
Who are you? Kazi asks.
It does not respond.
I want to heal it a tiny bit. Kazi asks. Like a couple points. Like a little bit. Just to keep him alive. Get him conscious again.
Ruben has lay on hands. Like, he has far more granular control over his healing than we do.
Yeah, do that. Only give him a couple points though.
I'm just gonna give him 1 point.
Oh, all right. The creature becomes conscious, coughing up a bit more of the green blood before it lets out some weird clicks before it rolls itself over and stares up at the 4 of you, the 5 of you. 6 maybe if you count the horse.
Kazi asks if it can understand him in common. Can you understand me?
In your mind, you hear a voice. Who are you?
Remember, I have the ring
Does that
of
block?
mind shielding.
Does that block telepathy?
No, it just says you are immune to creature magic that allows creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you are lying, know your alignment, creature type. Creatures can they can telepathically communicate with you, but only if you allow it.
Okay. It's attempting to telepathically communicate with you.
Okay, I'll let it.
Who are you?
A
You
mage
guys
of
are
Emberfell.
all hearing this in your mind.
Kazi says, I'm a mage of Emberfell. No, Kazi messages it with message. I'm a mage of Emberfell.
Emberfell?
Yes. A school in this area. A magical school in this area.
Are there great warriors there?
Yes. Mages. Of great power. Also warriors, yes.
The creature like stands up. I feel like I was attacked by swords and crossbow bolts, but that is exactly what happened.
Why did they attack you?
I cannot describe the motivations of your race. Why do you
How these
attack
work? They're
things?
probably... No, this group was a group of bandits. We were hunting them. So, you just did our job for us.
Bandits. That makes sense. I thought they were attacking me for no reason. I am Antoine. I have come to this land in search of great warriors. Do you know where they might be?
What do you need great warriors for?
That is a private matter between me and said great warriors. A private matter involving my people and my clan.
Kazi looks at him and cocks his head to the side. Depending on the urgency, and if we are able to take on this, we will try, if you're interested.
How good are you? How many dragons have you killed?
Oh, great. Kazi says with a sigh. None. But we do have one on our kill list already. We plan to kill him. But we aren't quite strong enough yet. Is it the dragon in Cold Valley?
I do not know of this place that you say. I am talking about the Shattered Lands. Have you been there?
I don't know of these lands.
You have heard
No,
of that
not
region, but you don't know.
I have.
You haven't been to that, but you haven't been there.
I've
The
not been
Shattered
there.
Lands is under invasion. The creature waves its arms in the air, and you get an image of a mostly just like empty plains. This is a very barren looking place. Spiky mountains off in the distance, some rivers, but it is very with some sparse shrubbery at the most. And you watch as something huge enters your field of view, and it just incinerates dozens of what appear to be creatures similar to the one you're talking to. Not incinerates, freezes. They all turn to ice. There's an entire field of them. A great being who has slept for time immemorial has awoken. It and its armies have come and swept across our land from the cold place.
The cold place. Does he mean the Cold Valley region, or does... Is there a dragon?
Make a history check. An ancient... In what you saw was a huge dragon, at the very least an adult-sized one. And a very cold place? You connect the dots, and what he is talking about is the White Storm region.
Do I know of any dragons in that area from my history lessons?
In fact, yes. In fact, it is famous for one specific white dragon. There is an ancient white dragon that lives at the center of that vast region-sized eternal snowstorm. And it rules the region, or at least its minions did, for quite a while. In fact, you remember your professors talking about some current problems with that region. Apparently, the minions of the dragon had gone and started causing problems recently.
Kazi says, the best place I can think of for you to find help is... We can bring you there. Can one of you heal him completely? Kazi says, turning to the rest of the group.
The creature, also, the creature's name that you were describing, you remember it now. It is Rek'Krael, the ancient ice dragon. So old, the dragon dates back to the very wars between the greater gods.
Which side was he on?
That is something you would probably have to go into research on. It's difficult finding stories and books that go that far back.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him.
I'm gonna do the same.
Alright, he regains some of his wounds stop actively bleeding. And that helps quite a bit. Ah, thank you. Now, where is this Emberfell you mentioned?
Just down the road. Oh, 10.5 journey.
I'm just gonna
Maybe
keep casting Cure Wounds until he's fully healed.
Alright, yep. It takes longer than you would expect. But yeah, with that, the strange creature, the strange insect-like creature just begins to walk down the road in the direction that you pointed.
We travel with him.
You make it maybe 50 feet down the road, and the insect turns around. Why are you following me?
We were going to Emberfell to begin with. Didn't we say that? Kai says, looking at him with giving him a... I just said this look.
A strange coincidence. Very well, you did heal me. I will accept such traveling companions.
Odd one, Kai says over a message to Kreth.
Yeah, ... Kreth sends back.
Can you? I don't know. Can you send text? I think it comes as a whisper. Did you say the ... out loud?
Whisper.
No, I insinuated it.
Okay.
Alright, so how far can we travel in one day? Make it down?
You have about half a day's travel, so you make it for the rest of the day traveling. Let's see here. You make it about 10 more miles before the end of the day. Oh, it's also, because of the road, you travel a little bit further.
15 miles?
15, yes. So you can make it to about there. One more day of travel, and you will make it to Emberfell. At this point, you begin to pass by smaller villages, most of them along the lake, most of them fishing villages of one kind or another. but there's no place large enough for an inn. But there are places that you can stop at.
Okay.
All right, you can take
Probably a nice campsite once it gets dark.
You can take a long rest. The strange creature just sits cross-legged in the grass and seems to sleep that way, not even laying down.
All right, can I mark off another day of Arcana training then?
Yes, you can.
I have a question. I have this spell, Zone of Truth. Do we want to use it on him?
I don't think that's needed.
Okay.
The next day, are you guys all taking a long rest?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Just haven't clicked that yet.
And with that, you guys make it at the around 5 p.m. or so the next day. You guys arrive at Emberfell Academy for mages.
I rolled that one for my magic missile one.
Yes, youch.
Oh, I didn't realize it actually added.
Yeah, I think it does. It does it automatically.
Yeah, I did not realize that. That's cool.
So you guys make it to Emberfell Academy. Hang on. As you begin to approach the academy, there is a significant upheaval in traffic. You've been running into traffic for the past day or so, but now there are more villages, more towns. This has to do less with the fact that you're closer to Emberfell and more the fact that you're closer to one of the largest cities in the known world, Whitewall. But the diversity of people ranges mostly in Dragonborn, but there are a lot of other races. You see all kinds of people as you arrive at the huge stone bridge crossing maybe half a mile of water before it arrives at the shores of the island. There are, just from where you're standing, you see a couple of guards that appear to be in magical armor. They are checking people as they try to cross the bridge. There are a group of small robed figures who you can't quite tell who they are, but they appear to be halflings at your best guess. There are some lizard folk that I don't believe any of you have ever actually seen before. They live in a region different to the one that you guys have been to. There are dwarves, a ton of humans, but they show up everywhere. That's just how humans work. There are a couple of strange, more monstrous creatures too. There's even like a giant that you can see, even though it's about halfway across the bridge. You can still see it well above all the other individuals on the bridge.
Does Kazi have a family crest on him?
I would imagine, probably.
Okay.
For the Argentus.
Curious. Didn't know if he would actually. Yeah. I figured he would, I just didn't have it in my inventory.
Alt, state your name and business.
Kaszi'iser Argentus, coming home to visit a mentor. Kazi says calmly, looking at him.
And the names of your companions?
Kazi lists off their names. Adrien, Ruben, Kreth, and Celsi.
Alright, we are going to, as per procedure, we are going to cast a Dispel Magic spell on you all. Are you prepared?
Yes. Hang on. One quick question. Celsi... Who did Celsi say was hunting for her?
The
Or was there
of,
anyone hunting for her?
the Church of Vesper.
Okay. So we're probably fine with the gate guards.
Possibly.
Yeah, who knows?
You guys,
Continue.
one by one, they cast Dispel Magic on you. It doesn't do much besides the fact that they appear to be looking into your eyes, looking across. Then, after they look into your eyes, they compare your faces to a number of pieces of parchment. And finally, after maybe a good few minutes, you guys are allowed through onto the bridge proper.
As they walk past, Kazi pauses in front of a god. Wait, would Kazi know if this procedure is different from normal?
It's a little different, but not incredibly different. The looking into the eyes is new. However, the checking for wanted criminals is just standard.
Okay.
They
So
also
why have
check
we
you
started looking? Where do they also check us?
your eyes.
Kazi's gonna turn to the guard and ask, "Why the new security changes? It's an instant while I was away."
Marked have been seen nearby. Just a new procedure.
Very well. Have a good day. Kazi says as he passes through the gate.
The guard nods, and you guys pass onto the bridge. The bridge is filled. It is maybe about 50 feet wide, so it is a huge. It's more of a a forum than like something that people just travel across. There are smaller market stalls. There are people gathered in groups. You can see where a couple of junior mages of some kind or another are casting some sort of spell, and it's causing a lot of light and effects to occur. And there's all the people walking past are keeping well out of the way of that. You can see people that are trying to sell spell scrolls. It is about as expected as you remember.
Kazi is going to head straight for where he knows his mentor. What was the guy's name? Norrith?
Maxwell Norrith.
Maxwell Norrith is. He's gonna go look for Professor Maxwell Norrith in the college, in the school buildings, wherever his classroom would be.
I haven't described Emberfell, I realize. Emberfell is less of a series of like school buildings, and it is a single spire that sort of towers above everything. There's a couple of buildings on the outside on the island, but most of the College of Emberfell is within the building. It is a massive circular building. In real life, you'd probably be aware of it'd probably be over 100 stories tall. It is very thin. At one point, it appears almost like the tower is impossible because there is a massive chunk just torn out of the tower halfway up that only leaves maybe about a hallway-sized structure holding the upper half of the tower up. Otherwise, the place is ancient. The place itself is separated into different regions just because it's so big. So you have the basement level, and all of these are said as a joke because what it means by the basement would be like the size of a sewer in a mid-sized town or city. But there are the basements, there are the lower levels, there are the classrooms. These are the rooms right towards where the chunk of the tower has been bitten up, right below the bite in the tower. Then there is the library. Those are a dozen floors above where the chunk has been taken out. There's the platform. Tearing out of this spire is a huge disc platform that sort of looks wonky with the implausibility of the structure. It's just so thin and wide. It's maybe about a football field in size, you could compare it to. And you can see far off in the distance, those with better eyesight, you can see tiny little figures of people up on the platform. And then above that, there is the upper levels. These are levels controlled by the headmaster and also rooms for all of the professors. At the very least, permanent living quarters for the professors because their actual offices would be in the classrooms section of the tower.
Okay. Is there like an elevating system in this? Like an elevator, or is there...
Yes, there are.
Just stairs. Okay.
You would also know,
Kazi's gonna...
there is the Archmage, which is effectively like the principal or the headmaster of Emberfell. Archmage Reginald is the current one. But as you arrive, there are more and more students. You can see more and more people who are clearly equipped for magic. They have their spell focuses most of the time. Sometimes it's in their pocket. Sometimes it's already in their hand as they're grabbing books or moving. There's a lot of movement going on as it appears to be one of the days of the week that they schedule classes.
Kazi is going to message Celsi and say, make sure you activate your mask.
Yeah.
Okay,
Remember.
Celsi is going to just subtly put her hood up, and then her face changes.
Oh, her hat, right. She doesn't have a mask. She has a hat. Hat of disguise.
So as you approach, you enter the first floor, and it is a massive chamber that goes from one side of the tower to the other. There are these huge pillars holding up the ceiling, and there's even more chaos in here. There are shouts for different things. It appears to be less of a market and more of a supplies hub for different things. So you can see there's a lot of academic stuff being sold here: books, quills, materials for wizard spell books, that sort of thing.
Okay. Kazi's gonna make a beeline for the elevators.
A massive disc, maybe 20 feet in diameter, is just in the ceiling, not in the ceiling, in the floor, and you approach it, and as you step onto it, it glows a little bit, a little light blue, and then this sort of stony creature pops up from the center. What floor?
Classrooms.
As you wish. The stone elemental begins just hauling your stone disc, and it begins to rise into the air. It rises up to the ceiling where there's a perfectly shaped circular hole in the ceiling, and then you just keep rising. Further and further, maybe about 20 or 30 stories up, you make it to the point where there is a window, a large windowed room where some mages are practicing spells. You see us overlook that, and beyond that, a large window overlooking the Crescent Lake, this massive lake that surrounds Emberfell. You are now in the academy. Beyond
Are we in
that,
the classroom section now?
you arrive the classroom section as ordered.
Thank you. I'm just stepping off the platform.
Have a pleasing day. And the elemental begins lowering the stone disc back into the floor. You guys all step off of it to find yourselves in what appears to be, because there's no windows overlooking hundreds of feet down to the ground below, it seems to be a fairly mundane hallway. There are a couple of normal-sized doors that appear to lead into classrooms, since the doors are open and you can see what appear to be desks, and each of these rooms has a large writing square at the front of the classroom. But yeah, these are definitely the classrooms. You would know, Kazi, as a student here, you got lost the first couple of weeks here, but eventually you learned your way around, that this place, that towards the north side of the tower, that is where the majority of the teacher or the professor offices are.
Okay. Kazi's gonna head in that direction to look for Professor Norrith. Do I need to roll any checks to see if I find it or not?
No. It doesn't take long before you walk through a couple of hallways and arrive in the professor section, and it doesn't take long to find the office of Professor Maxwell Norrith.
Kazi knocks on the door and pokes his head in. If the door's open, he's gonna poke his head in.
You almost run into a dwarf that is on his way out. He has the outfit of a Emberfell mage, actually an Emberfell professor, and he is just screaming, "Your theories are all wrong!" You recognize the voice of Maxwell Norrith shouting from inside the room, "See no reason that your evidence is relevant to your theory." And the dwarf just walks out with a huff, not even just looking at you long enough to avoid you on the way out. You just hear a grunt from both inside the room and from the dwarf leaving the room.
Hello, Professor Norrith. Kazi says as he steps into the room.
Ah, that isn't Kazi, right? Kazi Argentus.
Yes.
I have a lot of students. I recommended
Before-
you go to the ruins of Kreth, if I remember that correctly. How has it been?
Quite well. I've learned third level spells.
Whoa, wow, that is quite the improvement. I am very impressed. Actually, before we get to that,
So
give me
before
1
I enter
minute,
the room,
please. And he is going to write
before-
things down. Yes.
before I enter it's possible I enter the room with the rest of the group, but how long has it been since I've actually seen my uncle?
I would say it's only been about maybe a year. It hasn't been a ton of time. Because your uncle helped you when you were kicked out of the Church of the Clear Lake.
Oh. Oh, he did?
Yeah, that's how you got. That's how you are a mage initiate, a wizard initiate. He taught you some spells.
No, I thought that was because he trained me before I became
Oh, was that before?
a cleric. Yeah, that
I would
was
say.
like the whole reason why I have the cleric piece is because he didn't have time to train me anymore, and
Okay.
that's why I ended up with the Clear Lake
So he didn't.
Monastery.
So you haven't seen you. Okay, so if that's the case, you probably haven't seen him in about. I would say, when were you affected by the Clear Lake again? How many years ago has that been?
Since Adrien was made a warlock.
Yes.
I want to say it's only been because it's only been a few weeks since the start of the campaign. So I think from the start of the campaign to when it happened was like somewhere between 6 months and a year. It wasn't very long.
Okay, so it's still been only probably about a year since you last saw this your uncle.
But it's not like anything ended on bad terms.
No.
Okay, so I would have no reason to hesitate entering the room. So yeah, I would just enter with the rest of them.
Ah, who are your friends here, Kazi? Guests?
My adventuring companions, yes.
Adrien is just grinning.
No. By the Academy, if that isn't Adrien, I don't know who you are.
Yes, so you recognize me.
I have not seen. Last time I visited your father and mother, you were not home. Apparently, there was a business with the Church of the Clear Lake that I had not been made aware of.
Yeah.
Nobody tells me anything in this family. How are your
Much
parents doing? Oh, no, that's not the right question. What is the deal with this news I've heard about the Clear Lake? You've been kicked out. I don't believe I've ever... Go on.
So, essentially, we were actually telling people about the whole initiation ceremony. That wasn't, like, taboo to share that, was that?
No, it would not be.
Okay. I was pretty much, we were doing the group of initiates I'd gone through training with. It was our turn to go out onto the lake, and when we went out onto the lake, the Clear Lake reacted differently to me than from what I had expected based on what I'd heard and seen of previous initiations. Would initiation be the right word?
Yeah, initiation.
I get the sense it felt something was different about me, and it gave me power and essentially, in a way, altered my. Don't really know how else to say it, but it altered my doctrines to include necessary violence.
He raises eyebrows. I believe the Church of the Clear Lake and the Clear Lake are against such things, right?
Yeah. Also, as I came back to the edge of the lake, somehow the Clear Lake was stained.
So that was you. I'd heard about that at least. I thought your being kicked out of the church and that event were two different things. Strange indeed. You don't hear every day about a god changing in form or in look. Though I do have a couple of references on it. In fact, I have a class on it in a couple of weeks, and he starts looking through his notes. I'm never going to organize all this. That is a rare case. Maybe once every few hundred years will a god change in some way, and it's normally minor differences. You hear about the pale tree growing an extra branch or losing a branch. The Church of the Clear Lake will occasionally, every
Hang on.
few centuries,
Hang on.
change its
Andrew.
shape to a different sized lake. Yeah.
When he says when the pale tree grows an extra branch, Kai's like, the pale tree was quite nice.
You met the pale tree as well.
Yeah, I spoke to him.
Where have
Yes,
you
I
been?
did.
Where have you been?
I guess we should start at the beginning.
Actually, wait. Hold that thought. I have a meeting with the headmaster, and he looks at a strange arcane device on his wrist. I have a meeting, and actually, how about you all come with me, and we can all discuss this together. Seems like you've had an interesting tale, and I'm sure the Archmage will be interested.
Very well, Kazi says, and begins to follow him. One question, though. What do you know of these mocked that keep appearing?
I have a couple of books on that. Quite old, the marked. It dates back to the Great Wars, the wars between the greater gods. Before they disappeared, and he's looking through a couple of books. Here we go. An essay on the conflict between Merath and Tareth, the two gods that have disappeared from the world. It's quite a long title, but he starts flipping through it. The Marked were both, back then, they were both agents of Merath and of Tareth. Like, in a way, clerics, but different. The Marks would give them enhancement to their powers.
Okay. And now? Why have the mocks changed drastically?
I'm aware of this as well, being a professor on history. Every century or so, there is a larger amount of marks who appear. There doesn't seem to be a pattern, other than that it happens every century or so, maybe every 2 centuries. There have been some gaps in the past. And he is walking to the door. Everybody, come with me. We can talk on the way. We can talk on the elevator.
Kazi taps his shoulder and then pulls up his robe to show him his wrist with the mark on it.
His eyes grow wide, and he quickly flips through a book and then pulls up a drawing, a very old one, of this very same mark, of which is in just the celestial for wizard. I'll be by knowledge itself. Is that real?
Yes, Kazi says.
I suspect that's why, that perhaps is why the Clear Lake gave me its unusual directive.
Oh.
More to
let the Archmage know. You're not some sort of corrupted man in the disguise of my student, are you? And he takes a closer look at you, Kazi.
Kazi gives him a flat look. No, the shadows have not possessed me.
That's no illusion. Those are your actual eyes. It says here that every single marked since the war has been corrupted.
It's because they haven't survived the shadows killing them and taking possession. In limbo.
Maybe we should explain the whole process first.
There's nothing about limbo in the book. I should definitely. This is certain. You've come to me with a number of very interesting pieces of information. We should definitely tell the Archmage about this. And by now you have gotten a new elevator, and he just North just says to the upper levels, and the Earth elemental begins pulling the elevator up. As he does, he turns to you, Adrien. He says, "Oh, but where are my manners? Your mother would kill me." And he opens his arms for a hug.
Okay. Because there's really no ill will between us. Adrien returns the hug. Good to see you again, Uncle.
I personally think the Church of the Clear Lake has their heads a little too far up a certain body part. Sometimes, at least. kicking you out for something that the god did to you. Now that is just rude.
They actually tried to blame me. Believe it or not, that it was somehow my fault. Wait, actually, Andrew, didn't you say like they did like truth magic on me and everything, and they like
Yeah.
I wasn't lying?
Yeah, there was a whole trial
Yeah,
that ended up with
yeah.
you just being kicked out because they couldn't find any evidence
It-
against you.
Yeah, they actually thought it was my fault at first before they used truth divination magic on me, and yet I was not lying.
I wonder if they are aware that their even divine magic can be evaded in certain ways. Oh, where are my manners again? Who are the other three individuals in your group?
This
Ruben.
is. Oh, that.
No, go on.
You want to
Go
do
on.
the introductions?
He's talking to you.
This,
No, he's talking to you.
yeah, this is Ruben of the. Wait, actually, would I want to actually say what church he's from?
You could, if you wanted to. It's also very obvious
I feel
by
like-
the holy symbol that
Yeah,
is displayed
that's fair.
on his.
This is Ruben, a. Hold on a second, though. Celsi, has she removed all symbols of Vesper from her clothing, or?
Yes, she does not. Though you are aware, she does have a holy symbol of Vesper that she uses as her casting focus.
But she specifically hides it.
Yeah, it's just underneath
Let's say-
her armor.
Okay, so I wouldn't want to. Adrien would know that she wouldn't want him to just say that she's Cleric of Vesper.
Just like she's our cleric.
That is Ruben. He is a paladin of Vesper, a good friend of ours. And that is Celsi Weaver. She's our cleric. She joined our group a bit more recently, but we'd met before that.
Seems you have a balanced adventuring team. Pleasure to meet you all. And he tries to shake every one of your hands. I don't know if you guys accept.
Ozzy
Ruben and
just
Kreth.
smirks.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't introduce Kreth, did I?
Oh yeah. I was assuming you also introduced them.
Yeah, I did. I just forgot.
By the time you're shaking Maxwell's hand, the elevator stops, and you guys end up in another large room that spans the width of the tower. There are a couple of staircases leading off to the side in seemingly odd places, but there's a large chamber. Following up several flights of stairs, you find yourselves at what appears to be a large office. You are at the very top of this massive spire, and you can tell by the windows that it is an incredible view, and also a very long way down. You walk into a dark room that is only lit by the overhead windows. This appears to be the very roof of the spire. Oh, seems we're about a minute early. That should be fine. Take a seat. You guys see there's a bunch of chairs scattered around. There are floor-to-ceiling shelves. There's an upper sort of level balcony that circles the room.
Kazi wanders over toward the bookshelves. What's on the bookshelves?
Oh, that should. Let's see here. Actually, which you look into a number of books. It appears to be general knowledge, but as your hands go to touch certain books, your hand is actually repelled magically. There's something magically protecting certain books on this shelf.
Kazi tries to figure out what it is. Not try to break it, just figure out what it is. With his magical senses. So would that be an Arcana check?
You can make an Arcana check. You can also read the title along the spine of the book, and it just says The Outer Planes. And is also huge. It's maybe 6 inches thick of a book.
Kazi begins to look for anything mentioning Merath, Tareth, or the Mark. Or the Shadows.
You can tell there are magical wards. This bookshelf is enchanted to prevent certain books from being removed.
Yes, but he's still going to look for those specific topics. Merath, the Elder Gods.
You start looking through, there appears
Something
to be
about
a lot of
the
magical books. There are less history books. In fact, you
Okay.
don't find really any. Ah, a very loud voice. It goes throughout the room. North, you're here for our meeting, and you've brought visitors. Floating down from what appeared to be the balcony where the Archmage was there before, as you guys entered the room, a huge, floating down before you all is a massive beholder. It has scales that are glowing a little bit purple, but they have little lightning bolts shifting in between, almost like shards of gemstone are implanted within this beholder. Several of the eye stalks look at each eye stalk looks at one of you guys as if he is scanning you all at the same time. Kazi, you have never met the Archmage of Emberfell, but you would know. You've heard the rumor. Reginald is a beholder.
Oh. Kazi gives a slight bow toward the Archmage and says, Archmage?
Yes. The Archmage nods to you. Oh, hang on one second. I can show you, for those of you who don't know, this is what a beholder looks like. They all look different. They all have unique forms, but this is what effectively a monster comes down and claims to be the Archmage that you guys were all talking about. So, what deigns to bring a student of this fair academy, as well as his companions? The beholder looks at all you guys at once.
We came here to speak to Professor Norrith, as he says, and he suggested we bring this to you.
He brought us along.
And what news do you have?
Of the mocked, as he says, and shows his wrist.
3 of the eye stalks turn and gaze, looking the mark up and down. Now the large eye turns, the huge body sort of rotates in the air, and the massive eye, the size of like several, what would be the good, it is 2 feet in diameter, this eye, and it looks at you, Kazi, and as you do, you feel the magic just being not removed, but like magic doesn't exist where this eye is staring. And so for a moment, everything that you have is magical just winks out. Strange. It has been a long time since I've seen an uncorrupted marked. One that was born so recently. The eye turns away from you, almost to be not rude. As you can imagine, it might be difficult having a conversation with other mages if you're constantly removing their magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have brought into this room 5 marked. I did not know they were all marked, sir. You! The beholder turns one of his eye stalks back to you, Kazi. Let's see it.
See what's the mock?
Show me something.
Kazi just casts elementalism on the ground, making dust float up into the air. Not quite sure what he's talking about. And then he shoots firebolt out the window. I wasn't entirely sure what you were asking about. This is with a shrug.
You. Several of the eye stalks turn to you, Kreth. Do something.
What? Kreth waves.
How interesting.
What does it seem like the beholder is looking for? What is it asking us to show him?
Make an insight check.
Kazi's gonna make one as well.
Fortunately, that is one of my proficiencies. Oh, 19.
Alright, waiting on Kazi.
Oh my goodness, nat 1.
Kazi, it's hard to tell this abyssal creature, not abyssal creature, but this aberration. It's hard to tell what exactly he's thinking, but Adrien, you're getting the feel that the beholder is looking for almost like observing something familiar, like comparing to data that the beholder already has. You are in fact blessed by Merath himself. All of you appear to be.
Wait, we don't have the Merath's blessing yet, do we?
Yeah, but we have the mark.
But is
That
that's just
probably
the mark. We don't have the boon.
Yeah.
A boon is
Oh, we have the
different
blessing,
than
but
the
not the-
mark.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
So,
No, Kazi didn't say that out loud.
no doubt if you've been marked, you've come with a story.
Yes. Kazi says simply, we have.
And because you are not unborn, you will instead remain yourselves. I can hope that you will not withhold information.
We will do our best.
Do you tell... What parts of the story do you tell the Archmage?
Do we have any reason to hold anything back?
Just Celsi's past. Just say we met Celsi and Celsi guided us to the first frame. But say nothing more about Celsi's past.
Strange. I've been assured that this is not... I've been assured that it is not possible for marks to be not corrupted. Any new marks, anyway.
It depends on if they can kill their shadows, he says with a shrug. We were able to kill ours. The other two that were marked with us, they died. We hunted down and killed one of them, but another one is still on the loose. The woman, the human woman. She may yet be in the Goldmark region. That is unknown. She teleported out and we were unable to find to where.
I regret to know very little about this line of inquiry, but it is fascinating. Interesting. Most of the greater gods do not meddle with our affairs as much as Merath and Tereth did. I regret that I have only lived so long as to have been born after the Great Wars.
Would you know where the unborn come through would be? The portal?
This is something new to me as well. I regret to say, I am willing to help on your quest. If what you say is the truth, then Tereth has been making some sort of, at the very least, gathering his forces over the years. This portal, according to your celestial friend, needs to be closed.
Yes.
There are ways of
I do have
finding
one
such
other-
places.
I do have one other thing that may be of interest. If you can send a message to Archmage Colt. There is a black dragon with mithril plate armor in the mountains of the Cold Valley region. And then Kazi proceeds to explain the vision that they have.
Especially the part where the clear lake pulled us in.
Yes.
Your god manifested in a dream. That's Norrith now speaks up. That's not unheard of, but definitely unheard of by people who have been clerics of your god for this long. It's been, what, less than a year, Adrien?
Yes.
Do you tell him you're not a cleric, you're a warlock?
I didn't use the word warlock, but I said basically when I was made a cleric, I was basically told violence when necessary.
Kazi frowns. He's not a cleric.
Hey, is Kazi actually aware?
Before Norrith even speaks up about whatever Kazi said, Chelsea speaks up and she says, "That's true. Most of the time, gods only speak directly to archpriests and only the strongest of paladins. So, this god is willing to talk to you and willing to warn you about incoming dangers. That's certainly useful. But you have been implying that more about this," he says to the Archmage, the massive beholder. There are things I cannot say. Not out of an intention to deceive any of you. Instead, it is out of an oath. But I can tell you, there are certain individuals you need to meet.
Would these individuals be able to help us find another shot of Merath?
Perhaps.
Wait, Merath was the good guy on our side, correct?
Yeah, Tareth is the one who wants to destroy things.
There are those... There are veterans of the war between greater gods. And they still live today. That is all I can say.
I have one other rumor I have heard. I'm not sure how relevant it is to our current situation. But the ancient dragon of the Everstorm, whatever Winterstorm region it was, which side of the war was that dragon? Merath or Terrace? Do you know?
Oh, I can answer that. Neither. The dragon was actually asleep during that time.
Oh, okay. Good to know. We recently heard that some of his forces are on the move in the Shadowed region. The insect folk.
The Council
Where
of Emberfell will be meeting about that event that's going on. It will, no doubt, this army that's currently invading the Shattered Lands will move to other regions. Emberfell, as a matter of policy, likes to remain outside of political affairs, but this will endanger all within the Crescent Lake region, as well as perhaps the known world. We might have the issue of the mortally wounded god Tareth to deal with, but Tareth is not fully healthy and willing to destroy and willing to build up for centuries in order to achieve his plans. I have heard of this news. This is not news to me. However, the ancient dragon has been awake for some time that we had thought it been asleep. Time that made us think that we could relax. I would advise you to stay away from It's normally a matter of course to stay away from the White Storm region, but I would certainly advise you to stay away at the moment. Perhaps for
Kazi merely nods.
a long while.
There's already one dragon we are wary of. We do not need another.
As for the issue in the Cold Valley region, yes, I can send Coldheart a message immediately. I will just talk to one of the transportation mages, the Archmage. The Archmage nods. Very well. I appreciate you bringing this knowledge to me. Maxwell,
You're welcome.
you are an expert on history. So, I will have a list of information I will need you to dig up. And I have some contacts to contact.
Kazi suddenly brightens. Oh, go on.
We have a
Kazi's gonna
council.
wait for you.
We have a council to prepare for. North, and it's not going to be pretty. And the beholder just looks away.
Before he leaves.
Yeah.
Before you leave, this is an odd question and not really related to anything, but would I be able to use a pot of awakening to create a plant that can use magic?
The beholder turns to you. Perhaps it is not my field of study. For that, hang on, let me double check real quick. Where is... Look, Professor Tanner is the one that you should be inquiring that of.
Thank you.
Now, you're dismissed. I have some things to prepare, and your news concerns me. Perhaps the appearance of new marked and the awakening of multiple dragons is related in some way.
Oh, we did say that there was a marked dragon thing
That only
with the.
Yes, you did mention that, and he says that only deepens my suspicion. The unborn are agents of Tareth, and in some cases can communicate with him directly, which means any corrupted mark is the mouthpiece of Tareth. An ambassador, if you will. And with that, he dismisses you all, citing that he has some work to attend to. That was definitely some major stuff in there. Quite the story. You've been all over the place.
We have. Do your history
Been
books
quite
say
a
anything
lot,
about
haven't
magical
we?
plants using spells?
No, it's not my area
I
of
just
expertise,
curious.
but I can show you to where Tanner is. Perhaps he's not busy at the moment. As for the rest of you, any needs? I think I can give you lodgings, at least for one day. There was an accident, and so some of the dormitories are currently empty.
Lodging would be appreciated, but
Be much appreciated.
the question Adrien would have would be like, I have
Some item crafting I want to do, and I was wondering if you knew where I could perhaps hire an assistant, as my traveling companions likely don't want to stay in the city for 2 months.
Ah, yes, I believe
Or
there's always a student or two that's willing to work for some gold. That won't be an issue. I believe what you're looking for is actually in the player's handbook, if I remember it correctly. It is
yeah,
under
oh,
items and
oh,
then
it's in the player's handbook.
services. Yes. Services. Hirelings. What you're looking for is a skilled hireling, so that will cost 2 gold pieces per day. But that will,
Oh,
in
that's
fact,
not bad.
they will be trained, especially since you are in Emberfell, you will have no issue finding a hireling trained in Arcana.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any particular spot it might be best to look?
There are facilities that you can claim. Oh,
What do you mean
places
by
for
facility?
hirelings. That is something you can take up with the down in the lower levels. There is an office for hiring for different services. Most of the time, it will be a student that requires a specific spell being cast for one of their tests or one of the projects they're working on. Effectively, there's a market.
All right. Good to know. And then I think this is also in the cast spells in exchange for payment. So in theory, if I cast a 3rd level spell, I could earn 300 gold. What would be the likelihood?
It would be
I'm
cheaper in this place by 1 level
okay.
because of the fact that it's easier to cast.
Okay.
So
Okay.
requesting spells is actually cheaper here by 1 level down.
Okay, and then I suppose the question I would have is, this isn't really a question in game so much as a question for you as the DM. Or maybe actually, no, this would be a question in game. But how hard would it be to find work casting spells? Because that's probably a quicker way to earn gold than attempting to craft magical items.
Possibly, but sometimes it's harder. It might be harder to get to sell your services here, of all places, because there's just so many people who would be willing to do it for that price. You can think of
But
these
even
prices as like places that are less dense in people who can cast magic. But hang on, there's actually a point that I need to get to. But as he is showing you that, you guys manage to stop at the lower levels, And Adrien, you can from there you can hire a hireling, a student. You put in a request, and a student can show up wherever you are working from and can assist you. And basically, as it says in the rules, you can double your speed of crafting that magic item. But as you do, Kreth,
Yeah.
you hear
Andrew,
a voice. Yes.
Andrew, would this be a long encounter or a short one? Because we should probably stop soon.
This will be a short encounter, actually.
Okay.
You hear a voice in your ears, Kreth. Go to the classrooms level. 4th floor. 3rd classroom on the left. Oh, and I'm AM, by the way.
Kreth's facial expression changes to one of confusion, and he reaches for his head again. Do you guys notice this?
Kazi gives you a weird look. What's up?
I got another voice in my head telling me something, and I'll relay the message to them.
Kazi, I got a question. One question. What do you mean another voice in your head?
Wait, never mind. I forgot it was a note. Never mind. I did not
Yeah.
say another voice in my head because I was mixing up the note I got last time with the voice in my head. So I'll be like, oh no, I just got a voice in my head.
Oh, what did this voice say?
I'll relay the message.
Wait, is Norrith still with us?
No, he's been dragged away by another student before you could get to the lower levels.
Okay. Kazi would have stayed up on the upper. Actually, yeah, Kazi would have stayed on the upper level looking for Professor
Professor Tanner?
Tanner. So Kazi would not be there.
Alright. So it's just the 4 of you.
Yeah, Adrien has to figure out where he's staying and working long term before he actually hires a student. He just wanted to know how he could do it.
Okay. Are you following up on this message, or?
Oh, we might want to wait for Kazi, but we don't know how long he's going to be. Hello?
Yeah, Kazi doesn't know how long he's going to be either. Or wait, actually, no. Norrith said that he would bring him, and Kazi just tagged along with you guys then. That'll make it easier.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Because Norrith didn't actually have the time to introduce him.
So you guys are all aware of this message. This was clearly sent using the message spell.
The cantrip, yeah.
Yeah.
Message or
Go to the
sending?
third.
Message.
Kazi looks around the room, doing an Arcana check to try to figure out which direction it came from.
You are
That
in
would
a
be
room.
perception, though, wouldn't it?
You are in a large sort of market You are in almost a cafeteria / marketplace, and there are hundreds of people here.
Hang on. As soon as Kazi realizes Ruben or Kreth has something in his mind, message something back. Think something back. Anything. And Kazi tries to trace them.
Kreth's gonna message back, explain.
There is nothing. And unfortunately, Kazi, you cannot trace this.
Okay. Is that where we're going to stop for tonight? I think we're going to follow up on this.
Yeah, if you guys are going to follow up, you take the elevator up to, as directed, following up a couple of flights of stairs. This seems to be a section of the tower that's rarely used. You can see there's dust in some of the classrooms. Most of them are empty. But then, as directed, the 4th classroom on the left, you turn and you empty a pretty dark classroom, but it is lit with several small lanterns.
Before entering, Kazi casts both Mage Armor and Blade Ward on himself.
Preparations. You're always so ready for a fight, you whatever you are. As you enter the room, you spot a human man. But what he is clearly showing, and not hiding at all, is you see 2 pitch black eyes staring back at you guys.
Yeah.
I am Eldred the Mad, and I know where a piece of your god is. Wouldn't you like to know? And that is where we are going to end today's session.
Marked?
That is something we will get
Maybe?
to next week.